TMJ4.
This is breaking news now on your side.
Heartbreak in the heartland. The work to recover begins after the most powerful of tornadoes.
Oh my God.
This is not good. Please, dear God, please keep these people safe.
Survivors tell their stories.
And then I came out and I saw the cars and I saw the houses and I just started crying so hard.
All right, hon. You are never, ever going to go through this again.
And find comfort.
I was able to find pictures, which everything else is pointless.
I was asking God to spare me, and He did. He saw fit to see me through to another day.
Lives saved, lives lost, and lives changed forever.
If there's any good news, it's that the death toll was revised downward from 51 last night to 24 tonight.
But the news from Plaza Towers Elementary School got worse, if that is possible. It turns out the children who died there survived the tornado by taking shelter in the basement. But when the building collapsed, they were trapped. Then a water main broke, flooding the basement, and 7 children drowned.
But there were many emotional reunions and stories of heroism at those schools and throughout the city.
We will get to those stories in just a moment, but we begin with Storm Team forecaster Brian Gotter. He got a first-hand look at the damage in Moore.
He joins us live now. Brian, this devastation is as far as the eye can see.
Exactly right, Carol. This has been an extremely emotional day. It always is when you cover these type of stories, but today a little bit more so. I mean, I don't care how many times you see this kind of stuff firsthand. The first second you see it, it takes your breath away, and more so this time for me, for the fact that I've called the Oklahoma City area my home for more than 20 years. My sister lives just a few miles to the east with her family. They were spared by this tornado as it weakened just before it reached their town, but it's heart-tugging. And Jeff Janka and I, photojournalist Jeff Janka and I, have been here all day, surrounded by sadness and complete devastation. But with all that, there were still some moments of hope.
We're going to be okay. You know why? Because Oklahomans are great people. And we're going to be just fine. We're going through a little bump in the road, but it's going to be okay. And we appreciate your teacher keeping you safe. It's going to be fine.
We were under our desk. It was really tiny for us. Really couldn't move.
Sheer joy. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. I mean, I knew he was okay because his teacher had texted me that he was okay, but I couldn't find him. My family's alive. We're all here, and we found our lost animal.
Somebody asked you, would you move? This is home, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter.
True. It's home.
People here are resilient. They're tough.
They are probably the toughest people in the country.
And the mayor said it best, this is home. I mean, I don't care how many times Moore has been hit, or the Oklahoma City, this is the epicenter of tornadoes across the world. This is still home, and these people are resilient here in the Oklahoma City area with this storm, 99, numerous other tornadoes. There was an F5 just 2 years ago on the western side of Oklahoma City, and of course, the Oklahoma City bombing in 1999. My home is Wisconsin, but I am proud to say that I spent quite a few years here going to school just 10 miles down the road from Moore.
And Brian, you were there for the tornado in 1999, and you see that devastation to there today, and it is just as far as the eye can see.
It is, and I think the mayor, I agree with the mayor completely. I asked him which was worse because he was here for 99 as well. This one is more devastating. It's twice as wide. It went through more a populated area, and there's debris everywhere. The 99 storm had 100-mile-per-hour more winds. It was 318 miles per hour. This was 210, and the debris ended up about 50 miles from here. So when people came to the neighborhoods, there was just slabs of concrete. Here, it's just piles of devastation, and they just, where do you start to clean up? But they will. They are tough.
Yeah, catastrophic. Brian Gotter joining us live from Moore, Oklahoma. Thank you very much. Once again, confirmation today the tornado was an EF5. That is the strongest there is. Wind speeds of more than 200 miles an hour.
9 children are among the 24 who were killed.
Rescuers don't expect to find any more bodies or survivors.
And here are some of those stories of survival.
You could just see it, pulling up everything, and it was on a beeline course, dead straight toward this daycare where my grandsons were.
The tornado destroyed the daycare where his 3-year-old and 6-week-old grandsons were inside. Amazingly, they survived. We're also hearing amazing survival stories from Plaza Towers Elementary School, where many children survived because of the heroic actions of their teachers.
She was covering me and my friend Zachary, and then I told her that we were fine because we were holding on to something. And then she went over to my friend Antonio and covered him. And then, so she saved our lives.
I was in a stall with some kids and it just started coming down. So I laid on top of him. One of my little boys just said, he just kept saying, I love you, please don't die with me, please don't die with me.
And an emotional scene at the other elementary school in town where parents rushed in to find out if their children were still alive. Amazingly, all the children at that school did survive. Check this out, a bowling alley destroyed, but the pins still standing. And amid all the damage, hope.
We sat down at dinner last night and I looked at my mother-in-law and I told her that I loved her. And we all started crying because we were together. And that's all that matters.
And look at these pictures. It gives you an idea of the extent of the devastation. On the left is a before picture of a neighborhood. On the right, the after picture of that same neighborhood.
And firefighters and first responders are still digging through tons of rubble this evening.
It's an exhausting and a dangerous job. Charles Benson is live to tell us how it's done. Charles?
Well, those search crews are using search cameras to find people buried in rubble. Let me show you how they work. We've got a firefighter right underneath here, and here's one of these search cameras that can go through a tiny hole, and there you can see his face buried under this truck. With the right tools, you can save lives. Timing is everything for the heavy urban rescue team. What is the first piece of equipment you want your team to grab?
Well, it all depends on what type of structure it is.
As I begin my interview about what they do, a fire breaks out right across the street. Lots of flames and smoke, but no injuries. And we continued our interview. How important is this piece of equipment?
Well, for them down in Oklahoma right now, it's extremely important.
Captain Troy Klemstein shows us the extremely sensitive listening devices teams are using in Oklahoma to hear people buried in rubble. Can it pick up someone crying?
It can pick up crying, it can pick up scratching, tapping, anything. It can pick it up.
They also have cameras to look through tiny holes to find and talk to people trapped. Plus, diamond-tipped chainsaws that can cut through concrete and machines that can bore through just about anything to aid the search cameras.
But with all these tools, it gives us the ability to find those victims and hopefully get them out safe.
And Milwaukee's rescue team has 2 units, one here and one on the north side. We're live at 9th and Greenfield. Charles Benson, today's TMJ4.
Pretty incredible. Thank you, Charles.
Well, here's an idea of the extent of the destruction in Moore. If we superimposed a map of the damage zone onto a map of Milwaukee, it would cut a 1.3-mile wide swath from Layton Avenue down in Greenfield, 7 miles north to Mequon Road in Ozaukee County. It's hard to imagine that much devastation or tornado on the ground for that long a period of time. So how do you go about rebuilding after a tornado?
Any shows talk to